Good morning. It is Wednesday. We are glad you're here. Hey, you're almost through another week, and we are closer to the end of the quarantine and closer to life getting back to normal, whatever that means. We're continuing our series talking about Jesus and the Sermon on the Mount. And right in the middle of this passage at the end of chapter 6, Jesus says, if your eye is dark, how great is the darkness? So he's talking about money and the consequences of money, manna, stuff. And right in the middle of it, he says, but if your eye is bad and you can't tell light when you see it, then your whole life is lived in darkness. That's kind of a weird thing to put in the middle there, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about money and treasure, and that makes sense. And then you have to love God and not love treasure. Okay, that makes sense. But right in the middle of it is this thing about your eye and darkness. Why? Well, if you're paying attention at all right now to what's going on the internet, you will understand what Jesus is talking about. You see, the internet thrives on attention, okay? It's no longer time management, it's attention management. How can someone on the internet get your attention? Can I throw up an ad in the middle of a page you're looking at? Can I put something down in the middle that wiggles that make you click on it? How do I get your attention? Well, because of spending so much time in the jungle in the early history of humanity, we learned to pay attention to things that move, that wiggle, because usually that either meant food or danger. So we're very attentive to anything that moves. So now the internet has devised ads, ad blocks, all of that whole thing to get your attention and hold your attention by creating something that moves. This is what Jesus is talking about. If your eye pays attention to the dark things, then sooner or later you will not be able to look at the light at all. And when you can't see the light at all, then your whole life becomes dark. So the question for today is, what has your attention? What has drawn your attention? What has captured your attention? We're finding out that we are easily manipulated by advertisement. We are easily manipulated by trends. And so we will buy things that we don't want. We will buy things that we don't need. We will be involved in things without being even thoughtful about what we're doing because our attention has been grabbed. In the power of Jesus Christ, we have the power to control our attention. And you have to make the decision every day, to what will you pay attention? To whom will you pay attention? That's one of the reasons that it is important for most of us to start our Bible studies in the morning, to get up, have our coffee, read your Bible and pray and do that first. Why? Because that focuses your attention for the rest of the day. Are you focused on those things that last? Are you focused on those things that matter? Are you focused on a treasure that is stored for you in heaven, or are you focused on everything else of the world? Sooner or later, the light goes out of things in the world. Sooner or later, they all go dark. A few days ago, we had a bad storm here in Nashville, and most of Nashville lost power. And people were in the dark, and people were afraid because they didn't have any power. That's what Jesus is talking about. When you pay attention to the things of the world, sooner or later, they lose their power to hold your life together. So if you are a music star in Nashville, sooner or later, the light of your star will go out. Happens to everybody. Sooner or later, you are a former country music star. You achieve success, a lot of success. And then, well, it loses its light. On and on the list goes. Things that come from this world, things that you would focus on, things that you would pay attention to, suddenly lose their light and go dark. And if they do, if that's where you're paying attention, your whole life goes dark with it. That's why Jesus really wants you to keep your attention on him. He is the light of the world, and this light that never goes out. So on this good day, what are you thinking about? Where are you paying attention? Make sure it is to Jesus, the light that never goes out. If not, then it's going to get pretty dark. I'll give you about 60 seconds to think about it, and I'll see you tomorrow.